You're tuned in to the Profit and Growth Hour here on WDRB Media, the voice of the community. We're so glad that you tuned into this another Profit and Growth segment where we're always looking to give you something for your head, something for your heart, and something for your hands to do. We are here on location at University City Church in Huntersville, North Carolina, where there's a whole bunch of baby mama trauma that's going on. And you know when there's trauma, it's going to be followed by some drama. And when that happens, guess what? You need to get some help quick, fast, in a hurry. So we have a couple of people here on the red carpet with us who deal in the area of drama and the different issues that people may have, that relationships go through, that married folk go through, that baby mamas go through. And guess what? They're going to share with us some information about who they are and what it is that they do, because if you have some trauma, some drama, or anything else that may be going on in your life, these would be the people to get in contact with. You want to say hello to the Profit and Growth family?
Hello, family. This is Dr. DeLanya Elliott and my husband, Dr. DeLanya Elliott. We're so happy to be here. Thank you so much for having us on the radio tonight.
Absolutely. Tell us a little bit about your life coaching and the relationship coaching and stuff that you have going on.
All right. Well, we are W3 Life Coaching, and we have been in the coaching business really for over 20 years.
Wow.
We started in ministry. We're in corporate America. We own a mortgage company, so we have the finance background. We have the spiritual background, with the Word of God and teaching and training. We've been doing relationship conferences for over 20 years, so we're very, very excited about being in the Charlotte area.
Now, they say that over 50% of marriages end up divorcing primarily because of money, money issues, not having enough, making too much and not knowing how to allocate it or spend it, having the differences there. Is that the case?
Yes, sir. And that's what we deal with: communication, sex, and money.
Communication, sex, and money.
Yes, sir.
If we can get those three things straight,
your life will be straight.
Literally.
That's what I'm talking about. Why do you think we have issues in those areas?
I think it's just a matter of not understanding each other. Women talk to men like they would expect a response from a woman. And so in the communication area, when I'm talking to my husband, he is male. And there are different dynamics in theology, in psychology, in mental energy. And
Really?
I want to talk to him and expect a response like he's my girlfriend. Well, women have to understand that men have a language and women have a language, and we need to respect each other's responses, behaviors, and backgrounds.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Once we do that, then I can respect him as a man, he can love me as a woman, and we can have a great relationship.
What is the man's role in the relationship?
The man's role is everything. It's his responsibility in the relationship. He's the one that brings home the bacon. Not only
Or
that,
he's supposed to.
Yeah, he's supposed to. He's also supposed to just love his wife. Love his family, take care of his family. When things go wrong, he's actually supposed to step in and make sure that things go right. And that's his responsibility, to be the head of the household. That doesn't mean controlling, but that means taking responsibility to be the head. So when things are going awry, he's the one to bring it back into, into order.
Wow.
He brings that order. That's what he's about.
Being a leader.
Yeah, being a leader. That's what. That's what it's about.
Okay.
And we don't get a choice in the matter when God created us. That's what He made us.
That is true. Yeah. So we sort of stuck. So we, I guess, got to try to figure out what it is we're supposed to do with the stuckness that we were given.
No doubt. No doubt.
Although nowadays, people try to get unstuck and be trying to flip-flop and do something else that perhaps they weren't biologically birthed to do.
And hence you have the stress. I respect my single mothers. I was raised by a single mother. I respect the strong woman. I'm a strong woman. I'm a career. I'm an entrepreneur.
Wow.
But I am a submitted strong woman. And that's power and femininity. And we want to bring that back not only to corporate world, but we want to bring that back into the church, into the home. I love being a lady. I love for my door to be open. I love for me to know and to have my husband knock down the wasp nest and do the different things. He can cut the grass, or I can hire somebody to do that.
Right.
I want to be the lady in the home.
but you're a mover and a shaker and a shot caller, and you're making things happen, and CEO, and making all these high-level decisions, and got people working up underneath you, and some dogs and stuff that you controlling and ordering around and stuff. But yet, you have all this masculine energy during 9 to 5, and now you have to come home and be submissive?
It's called feminine energy. We were built for that.
Wow.
There's a power in femininity, and the more that we embrace that and relax in it, it's natural. The masculine energy, we learn that.
Okay. To be able to compete.
Exactly.
To be able to be successful.
Exactly.
Take care of yourself if you have to.
If you have to.
Because you don't have somebody else that's sharing that responsibility with you.
Exactly.
Okay.
And my husband and I have been building businesses together. So we each take a role in our business. So he's the CEO, I'm the CFO.
Okay.
So we work in our roles. So I bring something to the table, even in the relationship of business.
Wow. That is so awesome. It really is. More people need to hear that message, because a lot of times they are competing with each other versus complementing each other.
Yeah.
I like the way you said that.
Uh-huh.
That is so true.
Yeah.
You know, I see it. We see it a lot. You know, when we're doing marriage counseling and coaching and doing seminars where, you know, they're competing. They're like siblings. They're fighting. You know, like siblings. I'm like, this is your wife.
Right.
Man,
right.
you don't compete with your wife. You don't have to
Right.
do that.
Right. You don't have
You
to.
know, and wife, you don't have to compete with your husband. You know, I mean, it's a coming together. That's
Right.
what we do. We
Right.
come together.
Power of oneness.
We come into oneness, and
Okay.
there's where the Lord commands blessings. Also,
That's right.
When we come into oneness, you know, so
One could put 1,000 to flight, but two could put 10,000 to flight.
that's what the
Every
word
day.
says.
That's right.
Every day.
Absolutely. So you have the husband that's the leader of the home. He's the priest, the prophet. He's the protector. He's the provider of the home. What about the female? What should she be doing in the home?
Well, the virtuous woman also brought home the bacon. She
Well.
also worked with her hands. She also was in the field and
That's right.
you know, buying and selling real estate. So it's not that if I stay home, it's by choice. If I go out in the field, it's by choice.
That's right.
So I'm free wherever I am.
Wow.
I've been in corporate America for over 30 years. I've been married for almost 35 years. So we
Okay.
can do it all.
That's
We
right.
really can.
That
It's
is
by
awesome.
choice, though.
So you have the ability to do that, because I know women have more of a nurturing spirit than a man does. So when it comes to the children,
Yes.
when it comes to the home, it is that female that makes the house a home.
Yes.
We learned that
Yes.
from Luther, I think. Turning the house into a home.
Exactly.
You-
Controls that temperature.
That
No doubt
Exactly.
about it. Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
You got it.
However, my husband is the chef in the house.
Okay.
And
That's what I'm talking about.
when our baby was born, he wouldn't go to sleep on my chest. He went to sleep on his dad's chest though, because
Wow.
he could calm him down, because he's a son.
Okay.
See,
okay.
that's a whole nother message.
That's
As
right.
far as women,
The dynamics.
exactly,
Women trying to raise
boys into
and-
men.
Mm-hmm. That's a challenge.
Yes.
Especially if you're not one.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know,
Right.
No doubt.
you can share what the textbook says about it, but it's something different if you yourself have experienced it.
Right.
So you know some of the roadblocks that perhaps
Right.
a boy will have to come into the knowledge of and have challenges with as he gets older.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
I believe it was Jawanza Kunjufu.
Kawanza Kunjufu.
Yeah, he said that, you know, the single mothers, they love their sons and they raise their daughters.
Yes.
You know, so they put
Yes.
all that love that they want to put into a man, they put it into their sons,
Son.
but they never get raised.
Right.
You know, they never get direction. They never know, you know, exactly what they need to do as a man, like you were just saying. You know, the textbooks is there, but they don't have that example. And I think that's what happens in a lot of marriages as well. They didn't have that example to go for them, and so now they're trying to throw it all
Trial
together.
and error.
Put it, trial
Right.
and error. That's what it is.
And I'm assuming it should also be the other way around, where the husband, the father, he loves the daughter,
Right. Right.
but
raises
Raises
son.
the right.
raises the son. Right.
And sometimes with the iron hand, you know, and so the son now doesn't really get what love is. because of the dynamics.
Right.
You know, so we definitely have to bring that balance, especially in our culture. We can bring that balance. That's what we're here to do.
Is the family dynamic getting worse or getting better as society goes along, as we continue to live? Because obviously the family fabric back in the 1960s is different than it is presently. So is it getting more confusing, more convoluted, getting worse, or people not getting married and just saying, hey, we'll just make it happen and go from there? What's the climate?
I believe the climate is there's no absolutes.
Okay.
So when there's no absolutes, then people cast off restraint. They just do whatever they feel. They do whatever their point of reference is, whether or not it hurts you or whether or not I don't want to change. So I'm going to live my life however I want to.
Yeah, I think people have the idea, you know, of getting married. They want to get married, and they do get married. But then, like you said, to your point earlier, 50% of them, they get divorced.
Right.
So they like the idea of getting married, but they mean, I got to change.
Right.
I have to change
You know, I
something.
I have to invest
I got to
some
invest.
time,
I
some
got
energy,
I
some
got to
work.
compromise.
Adapt.
Adapt.
gotta
That's
communicate.
a bad word. You know.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think I don't want to. It's not what it used to be. I will say that.
Okay.
Can it go back? I mean, we don't sit down at the dinner table anymore.
That is
and
true.
I don't know your age or anything, but I remember growing up, my grandfather and my grandmother raised me until I was 12 years old. We had dinner at the table.
Right.
That was, you know, I think about that now. We had dinner at the table at, you know, 6:30. We were all sitting down, and the plates were being passed for us to have our meal.
Right.
And at the head of that table, before we ate, we said a prayer.
That's right.
And after that prayer, Granddaddy, the head of the table, sitting at the head of the table, got his food first. You know, that's kind of the dynamics of the way that it
That's
was.
right.
You know,
That's right.
but it taught us to be respectful. You know, it taught us, you know, just that we were a family, that we were together, and you know, we could have talks at the table. You know, I remember those days.
Right.
We don't do that anymore.
And then to my contrast to that, I was raised by a single mom. It was every girl for herself, because my mom was going to school to be a teacher. She was in the Army Reserves. So my sister and I, we had to learn how to cook. We had to learn how to do, and our mother was in and out, doing what she needed to do to better herself so she can give us a better home. So sitting down to the table wasn't a deal. We had the TV on, we had the food, you know, that we had cooked. And so when Leon and I married, oh my God, it was night and day. It was so strange to me that I wasn't used to family. So when brought his family came in, I was very isolated. I was very confrontational, because I wasn't used to that dynamic of family, and I wasn't used to love and people being around you. I felt smothered. That's the word I used. I was 19 years old. When we got married, I was 19.
Wow.
So we're coming out of this two separate dynamics of points of reference, of theology, of just background. So I know that marriage can work, because we stand here almost 35 years later, still in love, still strong, working together in business. And we were so polar opposites when we got married. So I know it can work. It's choice and decision making.
To unpack the
Yes,
baggage.
I had so much baggage.
Everybody does.
For him to stay, I applaud him as a black man to stay with what I put him through. Because I just didn't have the point of reference.
You just went through so much, and the heartache and the pain, and you know, you had to get her out the muck and the mire and pull her up.
34 years later, I promise you, it's worth it. I know it may not feel like it right now, whoever's out there. 34 years later, it's worth it. No doubt about it.
Cultivation. The men still know how to do that, ladies, so let them do it. You know.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
But I think we all come to the table with our own ideologies, our
Exactly.
own experiences, our own history, our own examples
Yeah,
of
no
what
doubt.
family dynamics are
Right.
supposed to look like.
Right.
And we're now bringing that into a relationship with somebody else that may not have had that same experience.
That's it.
Right.
That's
So
it.
now you're already starting off with strikes against you.
Right. No doubt.
Yeah, so it makes it even more challenging
Yes.
to be successful and for the two to become one.
Right.
right.
Which is
right.
probably one of the most challenging things that ever existed.
No
It's
doubt.
like, God, how are you gonna two become one? And we can add, we can subtract, we can multiply and divide, but that whole two become one thing,
Right,
you know,
right.
That don't even calculate.
that's that new math.
That's the new math. The new math. That works.
That's
That
God
works.
math, if I
That's
can
right.
say
The
that.
God
right.
math. That's
That's
God
right.
math. Yeah.
And I think oftentimes when we try to do God math without God in the equation,
Come
on
on
now.
now. That's good.
without Him being that final authority, because
That's
I'm
good.
gonna have my opinion,
Right.
Right.
and you're gonna have your opinion.
No doubt.
What does God have to say about it?
Right.
That's
right.
it.
So
Right.
having someone that has that final authority
Yes.
to make those the tiebreaker
Exactly.
take place.
You know, in my marriage, in our marriage, what I've seen in my wife is she has the ability to examine herself. As the Bible says, she will examine herself. She will go in and she'll pray and you know, and I don't even have that to that degree like I should, you know, but I look at her and she examines herself. We need to look at ourselves and say, you know what, let God, like you said, let God make this decision for me. And so many times I've seen it in me and I've seen it in her where God has changed that thing.
Yeah.
I want to say something.
Wow.
Oh man, I want to say something so bad, babe. Why don't we do it this way? Why are you fighting it? Why are you fighting this? Why don't you submit and do it this? But then we just pray about it.
Right.
And I
right.
watch God. Just the other Sunday, she said to me, she said, babe, I know I've been talking to God, and this is what he told me. I know you're going to like this. And I said, no doubt. When she told me what she
Right,
was telling
right,
me, I'm like,
right.
I want
what
to
he
tell you
wanted
that
to
so
say.
bad.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
That's
But
absolutely
God
incredible.
will speak to us.
He will.
That
No
is
doubt.
awesome. Yeah, if we speak to Him.
If we
No
speak
doubt.
to Him.
No
Right.
doubt.
And
Right.
yield.
That's right.
Because it's not always comfortable for
That's
God
so
to say,
true.
no, you're being selfish, get your ego out the way.
Mm.
Because growing up, like I said, without a man in the house, you know, we learn as women to have egos.
Wow.
And we're driven by that. And so to come in a marriage where I am submitted, that goes totally contrary.
She said that curse word again.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did.
Submitted.
I have to say it, okay?
I don't know why that's such a bad word. That's
Say
a
it.
bad word.
Just
Yeah,
say it, okay? But it helps and it helps. It takes down the anxiety. It
Yes.
takes down the worry because I know that if I submit to God, that I can go back to Him and say, "Your word says," and I did this.
That's right.
And so now I hold you responsible to your own word.
It's no longer your responsibility.
longer my
The
responsibility.
stress, the pressure
Nothing.
comes off of you.
Cast your care.
You did your part.
That's it.
Now we wait for the super to
Yes.
come in
Come on.
and attach itself to the natural.
And He does.
So that the supernatural can become activated in our lives.
Yes.
Powerful.
And he will if you submit to him.
That's right.
That's it.
No doubt
Absolutely.
about it. No doubt about it.
How can people get in contact with you? This is such good information. More people need to know about it. There are people out there that I know are hurting and don't know which direction to go in, and they're looking for help and hope. How can they get that from you? How can they reach out to you?
Well, thank you. They can go to w3lifecoaching.com and womenwithwealth@gmail.com. There's the email.
Is the email.
Yes, and our phone number is 704-421-5701.
Say that once again.
704-421-5701.
And the
W3lifecoaching.com.
And the 3 is the number 3.
Yes.
Versus
yes.
the spelled
Thank
out
you.
3.
Thank you. Thank you for making that
Excellent.
clear. Yes.
Very good.
Thank
Well,
you.
awesome. You guys keep doing what you're doing. Obviously, when you're in a position where not only you can preach it, but then you're living it as well. It's that living epistle, that living example that people look upon. So it's one thing to have the lip service, and it's one thing to even have all the degrees. But if you're not living it yourself, it's really, really hard these days.
Right.
Because, you know,
Right.
when we were growing up, it was do as I say, not as I do.
Right.
Well, nowadays, you can't do that.
No, you
Right.
can't.
You because they're gonna do exactly what you do.
Right.
You're gonna
So
follow
being that example, being that loving husband, being that nurturing wife, and being able to raise godly offspring. No better feeling in the world.
Awesome.
None.
We thank you so much. It's
Absolutely.
been a pleasure.
Thank you, guys.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Family, don't go anywhere. You're tuned in to the Profit and Growth Hour here on WDRB Media, the voice of the community. I am Dr. Bizness, and we'll be right back.